I'm afraid Keir Starmer is leaping on the bandwagon here when he calls for Boris Johnson to be stripped of his parliamentary pass. If the parliamentary pass of the old Speaker, John Bercow, can be taken away for bullying, then I think Boris Johnson's pass can be taken away for partying when people were dying. I think it's perfectly reasonable. As for his decision not to submit a resignation honours list, I think that's perfectly reasonable. He cites Tony Blair as a precedent, but he doesn't need to cite Tony Blair as a precedent. It can be just what he does. What's not clear from what he says is whether or not he would honour the resignation recommendations of the outgoing Prime Minister, that is, of Rishi Sunak. Or does Rishi Sunak have to get in there earlier? I have no idea. It's vague. And a lot of this is gesture politics. And we should be beyond that. As for citing Tony Blair as a precedent, well, Tony Blair is not without his faults as well, as I'm sure people will be only too ready to point out. But, and bandwagons should be something, for the most part, for politicians, for wise politicians, to avoid jumping on. The bandwagon is not a good thing to seize, unless, of course, it's the great MGM film, which I think is the, if you haven't seen The Bandwagon, see The Bandwagon. It's simply superb with Fred Astaire.